Okay, on the Newshour Debate tonight from Jaipur, I have Krishna Kumar Saharan. He's president of the Rajasthan Kisan Union. He's supporting the Aam Party. Krishna Kumar Saharan ji, dhanyavad. Dr. Raza Muzaffar Bhat is the leader of the Aam Party. He's there from Srinagar. And he's the candidate against Farooq Abdullah from Srinagar. Thank you very much. Satinath Sarangi, welcome to the debate. Welcome back. Chandana Chakraborty, I can see there. She's a social activist from Hyderabad. She's supporting the Aam Party. So at least we are not biased. At least we are not prejudiced, and certainly we don't have the powers to put anyone in jail. I feel so grateful tonight to be a free man.
We'll see.
I can tell you. Ashok Pandit is a filmmaker and social activist joining us from Mumbai. Manisha Priyam with us in the studio, well-known political analyst. Neerja Chaudhary, very senior journalist with us. Thank you very much. Vinod Mehta, editorial chairman of The Outlook till 2 months back, and avowed supporter of the Aam Party. Abid Rasool Khan of the Congress Party. A bit soft on the Aam Party. BJP representative coming. So, on the record tonight, on the day we are debating this, we have 4 times as much representation from the Aam Party and its supporters on Newshour, on Times Now, than we have of any single political party. That is the independent media, Satinath Sarangi. That is the honest media.
I'm sorry to say, I would like to correct that.
The media that you want to put up, that is the media that Arvind Kejriwal wants to put in jail, right? Why does he want to put us in jail?
But don't call it independent, please.
How much time do we have?
Independent, for goodness sake.
Independent, for goodness sake.
No, besides expressions, can you say something? The question is, instead of threatening to lock us up in jail,
I suggest you look up
I've asked my one...
today's Times of India. And you will know why I am saying that the media is not independent. On the first page, they're saying they have produced a manifesto. On the first page, they say there should be more private sector incentives, more promotion of foreign direct investment, there should be more privatization and disinvestment. There should be flexible labor market. Companies should be able to retrench workers.
Your argument is how dare we?
Whose interest is media serving?
Wonderful. So Satinath, your argument is very simple. This is the most ridiculous argument that I have ever heard, or the most silly argument I can say that you could have probably come up with. You know,
then you haven't heard enough. Then you haven't heard enough. Sorry to say, Arnab.
The question is very simply this. No, I'm telling you this. When did Aam Party get touchy about Times Now? You know why it was? Because we asked questions about the cops. We asked questions about India's 21st century Taliban.
You know why?
You know what the cops
do, Satinath
Sarangi? You should know that.
Let me tell you why.
When a girl...
You want to know?
Listen to me,
Satinath. Give me a moment.
Have the patience and the humility to listen. When a girl gets raped by her father, there are Khap Panchayats in this country who tell the girl, marry your father and leave the village. And when we ask, why were you trying to use arguments to support the 21st century Taliban? Because you are fighting the Haryana elections? Because you are seeking vote banks? I want you to ask, I'm asking you today, can Yogendra Yadav or Arvind Kejriwal not come out and say the Khap Panchayats are illegal, unconstitutional, even decided so by the Supreme Court of India? Why are you scared? When I say today you are scared because of vote banks. What is your answer? When we ask that question, you know what you do? You call us and you say we will not come on Times Now because you ask tough questions. That's why you don't want those tough questions to be asked. You are scared of tough questions, Satinath Sarangi, and I have the right to ask those questions. I want you, Satinath Sarangi, to show me the proof tonight.
Now?
I want Arvind Kejriwal to show me the proof tonight. That he said that cops were unconstitutional. Did he say that? Manisha Priyam, I want you to come to the debate. Did you hear Arvind Kejriwal say that?
No, not even an apology. And in fact, to try and understand too many nuances of saying that the CAP has a social function. But that's a panchayat that we don't want to even talk about. He's talking only about the father raping. I was just talking to Neerja about students doing PhDs, where in Delhi, the districts that are adjoining Haryana, number of deaths where a young girl only falls in love with a man in the same gotra in Delhi, and then the brother lures them back, will be killed. At least you know, 400, 500 murders that have happened in Delhi of
There is
young
no answer.
men because Khaps have ordered to do so. Now, this is an institution that should actually just be banned.
So I ask a second question, and the second question goes to Chandana Chakraborty, Neerja Chaudhary. I'm coming to you. Good media, bad media, paid media. My question is this, Chandana Chakraborty, you are a social activist, you're supporting the Aam Aadmi Party. Is it okay for Arvind Kejriwal to collude with a journalist to avoid some questions on the private sector, right? And agree to play up some other parts of the interview? That is good media. Is that good media or paid media? My question to you, Chandana Chakraborty, is when Arvind Kejriwal colludes, as he was caught on tape recently, as you may have seen, right, saying, I don't want to answer these questions on the private sector because it will affect some vote banks of mine. That is good media, Chandana Chakraborty. What do you think? What's your view? And everybody else is the paid media.
Well, the problem with your kind of reporting is that you exaggerate. You bring it out of context, you blow a small thing out of proportion.
No, what is
and,
the exaggeration
you have
out
a magnifying
here in
glass
this? Was there or not, Chandana,
all the
Chandana,
time.
was there or
Just
not
now,
a point
just now,
where in that clip
just
which
now
was
you
shown
talked,
that there was a conversation
about
where
Khap
Arvind Kejriwal said, I don't want
Yogendra
to answer
Yadav
these
and
questions
Arvind
on the private
Kejriwal
sector.
have said it many
I don't want
times
to answer these questions
that
on the private sector
there is
because
no
it will
point
affect my
banning
vote banks.
Khap panchayats.
Did
They
he
will
say
come
that?
back in some other form. What you have to do is to bring
Oh,
them
they'll come back
under
in
the
some
law.
other form.
He has answered these questions and you keep on saying that he hasn't answered these questions. That's the point.
The edict of death.
That's the point.
They're only
The kind of magnifying glass that you have used over Aam Aadmi Party, you don't use it over anybody else.
What's social about organizations of this kind?
Arnab,
That's not the point. Today, tell me,
Chakraborty,
why
I asked
aren't
you
you
a
paying
question
as much
which you chose
attention
to
to the
ignore.
fact that a
My
tainted
question was
person
this.
like Sri
My
Ramalu
question
is
was
taken
this,
back by
that my
BJP?
question
But
was
you're
this,
talking
that
about a
Satinath
small thing.
Sarangi started out today. Ms. Chakraborty, listen to me. Please be calm. Satinath Sarangi started out today saying that, if you're promoting the private sector, etc., it's very bad, it's unethical, it's paid and all that. My question is,
He's absolutely
Satinath
right.
Sarangi,
He's
is it
absolutely
okay
right.
to tell a journalist or
That
agree
shows
with a
what
journalist saying, is it okay to get together with a journalist? Allow me to complete, please, Ms. Chakraborty. Please, I'm not in lockup yet. When I'm in lockup, see, I won't get the opportunity to ask you these questions. Till I'm a free man, let me ask the questions.
No,
please.
you can't make
please
this
understand.
argument.
No, I'm a free
ridiculous.
man.
Let's talk about issues.
No, I'm making the point regularly because I'm so fortunate
You will be
tonight
a
to
free
be a
man.
free
I
man
don't
in a
think
free
he has
country.
anything about independent journalists.
question is-
He doesn't have anything about journalists or editors. The
I
point
have
is
a-
that these
I have a
newspapers
question here.
and
No, I'm
channels
asking
are
some
owned
very
by
straight and fundamental
promoters
questions
and they have
tonight.
several businesses.
So Miss Satina, 1 minute, Chandana Chakraborty, can I ask you, is it true that one of your senior leaders was working for a channel that is 100% owned? One of your very senior journalists till recently was working for a channel that is 100% owned, right, by the same media house you are hitting the streets and doing press conferences against till recently? Can you say that journalist is
Not
also
just
paid
that,
media?
a large number of journalists
Give me a
work
clear
for
answer.
a large number of journalists today work for media houses that are owned by corporate houses. This is no secret, and we know. And just like Satinath said to you, that you mentioned about what's on Times of India first page.
Kejriwal who keeps questioning that. It is
why? Tell me, why is media a holy cow that it can't be questioned? Tell me, Arnab, why don't you run a ticker? Why don't you run a ticker on your news when you have a debate like this? Who owns equity of your house? Why can't you be transparent? The reason that you are using a magnifying glass over Aam Aadmi Party is because it's asking very inconvenient questions.
Arnab, I want to comment. Arnab, I want to comment.
My question was very simply this.
I want to come in, Arnab.
Was this a good media? Suddenly, okay, Ashok Pandit, okay, fine.
I want to ask a very simple question to Ma'am Chakraborty and other representatives of AAP. Where were these arguments of corporate houses owning the media houses when the major Jimmy Jeeps, all the media houses, major reporters, news channels had camped at the Ram Leela Maidan promoting this party? Why did these arguments were not given that time that these channels are owned by these corporate houses?
Why don't you
One sec, allow me to finish. Madam, allow me to finish. Madam, allow me to finish. Allow me to finish. You have an habit of not allowing others to talk. This is the byline of Aam Aadmi Party. Allow people to talk first. Where was this argument when every day, every minute, Aam Aadmi Party leaders were promoted, they were spoken right about it, they had good things in that. That time the argument should have come. You should have boycotted the media houses. You should have not come on television channels. And even now, you should have done that. Because your leader, because your leader stands exposed. He failed as a Delhi CM. He has failed people. He has started moving in private jets. You are awkward to answer such questions from a common man.
May I ask you a question?
No, you know.
There were 3 other states that won elections at the time that AAP came to Delhi. Why weren't these questions asked about their progress and what they have done there?
No, you had a problem.
The only question that
you had a problem. They didn't have a problem.
AAP done in 1 month.
They didn't have a problem. Madam, you have a problem. You have a problem. They didn't have a problem.
What on earth are you saying?
Why are the fingers not... Now, why are the fingers not raised on...
Both of you, please, 1 minute. Please calm down. Neerja Chaudhary.
Why are you silent on that?
What is this overreaction all about? Let me get a point of view from a couple of senior journalists. Let's analyze this now. There is obviously a problem that the Aam Aadmi Party has.
I would fight for the right of AAP to have their view on CAP. I completely disagree with that stand. I would also fight for the right of them questioning, FDI in retail, why is it pro-corporate? Because that is, the difference of opinion is the heartbeat of democracy, media freedom, which we cherish. What is problematic to me about Arvind Kejriwal's statement, and I find it deeply disappointing, Arnab, because if this man has been talking about deepening democracy, the decentralization of democracy, therefore expectations were very high. The problematic part is, if you are not for me, you are against me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you extend that argument a little further, and if you are against me, that means there must be some reason why you are against me.
And you must be paid.
You must be paid is a further extension of that.
He's a Taliban.
No, but they are masters at exaggeration. You see, I'll tell you one way. They are masters at exaggeration. But isn't there a realization here that they're going to...
That mindset, Arnab, is very dangerous for our democracy.
Absolutely.
Why are they doing it?
Why they are doing
arrogance.
it? I think,
arrogance.
Today, Kejriwal, I thought, lacked gravitas in the way he took on the media. There were different ways, even if you disagree with the way media has been projecting.
I have a dissenting opinion, Arnab. I think the media, all of you respected journalists, are not grounding the fact enough that this is a very serious, bad statement coming from a former chief minister saying the use of the word lock up. Yes, indeed, we take strong objections as academics saying the fourth estate, the media, which has been a vanguard of democracy. There could be any paid news, there could be any nuancing, there could be any difference.
It's
the use of the word lock up, it's strong objections. The
problem really is the same George Bush rationale, You are either with me or you're against me. Now, he can say, you are talking about, my question is, somebody mentioned here equity and all that. Now, Arvind Kejriwal went on a private jet. When Arvind Kejriwal went on a private jet, a media house paid for it. Did Arvind Kejriwal, 1 minute, listen ma'am, please listen, learn to listen a little bit ma'am, please, I am not in lockup yet. When I am in lockup, will I be able to ask you this?
They are not used to.
The question is this, the question is, when Arvind Kejriwal went on the private jet, did he say, now there's a media house that is paying for it, I will look at the equity shareholding of that media house. And is it possible that the equity shareholding of the media house that paid for the private jet might involve some very big corporate? Very big corporate. Now then what happens? Then somebody can say that if an Arvind Kejriwal was to do an Arvind Kejriwal on himself, he'd say, that private jet was paid by a very big corporate indirectly. इसमें बहुत बड़ी साजिश है. तो ये क्यों नहीं पूछा जाए? ये तो बहुत बड़ा सवाल है ना. Did he check the equity shareholding of those who are asking these questions? Now my question goes here to Vinod Mehta. Are you scared today? What do you feel about it? You've been supporting the Aam Aadmi Party right from the beginning.
Arnab, on December the 8th in your studio, when the votes were being counted, I said, I've brought a pistol, and if the Aam Aadmi Party doesn't do well, I will shoot myself in your studio. Now, I would never have thought that I would be sitting in a studio where it would be media versus the Aam Aadmi Party. And I can then understand...
No, one second. There's a slight nuance. It's not media versus Aam Aadmi Party.
No, it's Aam Aadmi Party versus media.
Yeah.
I never
correct.
thought I would
Absolutely.
be participating in a debate.
Yeah.
And I never thought I would be participating in a debate in which we would be participating...
It's unfortunate.
Kejriwal versus media.
Media.
I can understand some hothead like Kamar Vishwas, etc. But this is Arvind Kejriwal. What madness has struck the Aam Aadmi? I mean, what are you doing? You have an agenda, you are such a force for good, and you've devoted yourself to a fight with the media. And you have so many damn journalists in your organization. Somebody should tell you to drink a glass of cold water and realize that you're on the wrong path. Your fight is not with the media. Your fight is with vested interest. Your fight is with forces that are against the Aam Aadmi. Why are you fighting with the media? 1 minute. Why are you fighting with the media? I mean, this is absurd. I rang up Prashant Bhushan, who's an old friend of mine, and he switched off his phone.
Why?
I said, what have you got?
Switched off the phone.
I couldn't get through. His mobile was not there. I was just saying...
If he's watching tonight, what would you say?
That is a specialization.
And I'd like to place on record, Vinod Mehta has been one of the most outspoken supporters of the Aam Aadmi Party for the last 6 months.
Mother of all ironies.
Go ahead.
Media is supposed to be soft on Narendra Modi.
Yeah.
But you ask the BJP people who has been attacking Narendra Modi since 2002. It is the media. It is the media and the English media which has carried on the struggle against Narendra Modi. The Congress party has given up.